over with you all. And I know there were a few people that weren't able to join us tonight, and we're hoping that I would record it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that.
We'll
all right.
do lots of promotion because of health.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. And if you
they even had a Facebook in Corville and everything. And
you need to ask a question, go ahead and comment
we don't have
in the chat. Where is my mute everybody button? Hold on. Oh, yeah. Sorry. All right, cool. And Jill, if I'm forgetting something, or if you want to add something, or Danielle, if you guys want to add something, go ahead and hop in and share with us as well. Okay, so I wanted to do this training about, tips for signing distributors and loyal customers, things that I've learned over the last few years of doing this. I've had months where, my business has absolutely boomed, and these are the things that I was doing during those boom seasons. And so I figured, why not just chop the learning curve in half for you guys, give you the information that I know works, and then you don't have to try to reinvent the wheel all the time. So first and foremost, the most important thing you have to remember is that you are in business for yourself, but you are not in business by yourself, okay? That means you are a business owner. So you have to look at this opportunity as like you are actual entrepreneur and run it like a business. Because if you want actual money, if you want like business money, then you have to run it like a business. If you want hobby money, then you run it like a hobby, okay? So you have to decide where is it that you're looking to get? What do you need to do to get into it? And you're in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. The beauty of a network marketing company is that there are people on your team that have done it, that have had ups and downs, that have experienced probably a little bit of everything, to be honest. And so always feel like you can reach out to them, reach out to me, reach out to a sideline sister. Sideline relationships are so, so important. So, make friends, start adding people on Facebook, comment on their stuff, cheer each other on, because I promise you it'll be so much more fun when you have somebody to like work it with hand in hand, okay? So, most importantly here, along those lines, is that people, when they are looking to buy a product from you or join your team, they're not looking at necessarily as it works, okay? They're looking at as like my friend Heather's business, or my friend Laura's business. So you have to make sure that you are keeping your personal brand relevant and keeping it positive and uplifting, because the people are going to be drawn to positivity. People are going to be drawn to, people just don't like to hear as many negative things. Obviously stuff happens in life and whatnot, but if you're the type of person that's constantly like FML, like like people are going to stop tuning into your page, and they're not going to see what you're doing, and they're not going to really want to be a part of that and embrace that. So end of the day, just be you, but make sure that you're trying to be as positive as possible, that you're talking about your dreams, you're talking about, what you hope to get out of this, what the products are doing for you, what you're noticing with your sideline sister and how much fun that is. So that's kind of how I want to kind of start it. So first thing to ask yourself is, what attracted you to this business? What was it that was posted? What did the person that asked you to join say to you? What was it that attracted you to this business? Because I guarantee that there's something that attracted you that somebody else is going to be attracted by as well. For me, it was seeing my friend get out of debt, and just, I kind of saw her start this, and I wasn't sure really what she was doing, but she posted about what it was doing for her family and what it was doing for her self-esteem, and I kind of wanted a piece of that. So what was it that made you join the team? Also, when you're posting on Facebook, try not to post advertisements, okay? We're in a society where we have DVR for a reason. We like to fast forward through the advertisements. Well, guess what? If you're posting like a picture of the wraps like that and saying wraps, tight and tone and firm in 45 minutes, like bullet points, like, you know, $59 as a loyal customer, if you do, you know, all that stuff, then people are going to scroll right past that. Right. So that's the thing about Facebook. They'll scroll right past it just like they would fast forward on a DVR. Right. So try to, you know, incorporate yourself in there. Okay. So whether it's sharing your rep results, sharing results from, you know, the results profile pictures that are corporate approved. By the way, I have a bunch of those on our team page. If you go to the album in photos, there's before and after albums for a bunch of the products. So take a look at those, save some of those to your phone, post one of those every once in a while, but don't make it too advertising. Okay. There are a lot of good ideas out there. Feel free to copy and paste anything that you see on Facebook that speaks to you. Obviously, if somebody's talking about their son and you don't have a son, you might want to alter the words a little bit. But if it, like, kind of take the concept, you know, if it's a selfie of them, then do a selfie of you and put it on there. But just kind of what are the things that make you stop and look, right? And then you can use those. Let's see here. Oh, when I am doing posts, not all of my posting on Facebook is about It Works. But really, it kind of is in a way, right? So maybe I'll have a picture of my kids, but my greens will be on the counter behind them. Or maybe I'll talk about how crazy my kids are being, like, now that school's out, but then I'll hashtag, where's the confianza? Little subtle ways of kind of working it in to show that It Works is a part of my life, but without being like in your face, like It Works all the time, black and green newsfeed, you know. So those are different ways that you can kind of like subtly introduce it and show that you're actually using the products, that it's a part of your life. And just remember, It Works is a part of your life, but it's not all of your life. Don't forget to post about fun family adventures, date nights, the fun friend outings and all that stuff too, because everybody wants to see that as well. And if you become all It Works all the time, then people again are going to start tuning out a little bit. So always kind of incorporate life and business all in one. Okay. Let's see here. Be positive. I kind of touched on this a little bit. No one wants to join a team with a negative leader. I already kind of said that. And then I already touched on that, so that's good. And then a good rule of thumb for posting is the 3-3 rule. So do 3 posts about like the business and the products, one in the morning, afternoon, one in the evening, because people are on Facebook at different times, right? And then do 3 personal posts. If you don't do 6 posts a day, it's not a big deal, but just try to like hit those main times when people, you know, are on Facebook. So like for me, first thing I do when I get out of my bed is I go to my phone and I start scrolling through Facebook. So posting 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night, about the business, and then doing 3 personal posts in there as well. Picture your kids, picture of the beautiful sky. I usually always do an inspirational post, something with a nice quote, because people love to hear that stuff, right? They feed on that. So those are always great. So that's kind of like the main point about like posting and like what to do and what not to do. One thing I want to point out is that while posting is super important, it's actually kind of like your open sign. I know a couple of you have heard me say this. It's like if you had a brick and mortar store, like if you owned your own business where you walked in and paid cash for something and walked out with whatever, your own brick and mortar store, posting on Facebook is like turning on your open sign. Okay, so you're letting people know that you are open for business. When you stop posting, I guarantee you that someone is going to start questioning, like, you know, is she still doing it? You know, and start wondering if you're still in it. So stay consistent, posting about, you know, the opportunity, the product, whatever it is, your dreams, whatever it is. So that is what I would say about posting. Now, another question that somebody had asked is if they should do a business page or create a group for their potentials. And I would say no. I made a business page right when I started, and I spent a lot of time like putting it together, putting before and after pictures on it, inviting all my friends. And what I found out, it was double the work with very little reward. Because the only people that would see my post were the people that accepted my invite to my Facebook page, my business page. And after a while, I was like, forget this. I'm just going to post on my regular feed because it's going to hit a lot more people, right? Same thing, like, do you do the groups? Like, because I know there are other companies that will create like a mass group and invite everybody to the group. And all of a sudden you get a notification you've been invited to a group. And then every time they post something, you get a notification, you get a notification, you get a notification. I don't like the tact in that because I think it should be somebody's, option of whether or not they want to belong to a group. Again, it's double the work. By posting on your Facebook, more people are going to see your stuff than just by posting in a group or posting on a business page. So that's my personal take on it. Again, it's your business. You can do absolutely whatever you want, but that's just kind of my takeaway on those two topics. Any questions so far on posting, what to post, or the business page stuff?
Can we talk about scheduling posts with like Buffer or SendShare?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, thank you, Joe, for mentioning that. Everybody say
Yep.
hi, Eric.
Meeting.
Okay, so scheduling posts. This is incredible, especially if you're a busy person. You're at work. A lot of jobs don't let you get on Facebook, right? So one of the things you can do is download an app called Buffer. What are some other ones, Jill? Buffer, I know SendShare costs money.
There was one that I was using, but it was putting all the photos to,
yeah, don't use that one. I would say
yeah.
Buffer or SendShare. I use SendShare because I just like that one the best, I guess. I can post to like a party or whatever, but you don't have to worry about that yet. Download Buffer. You can actually, what you do is you pull up the app and you create a post, right? Just like you would on Facebook. And then you set a date and a time for it to post onto your Facebook, right? So if you know that I'm going to be busy from 8 a.m. until 11:30 one morning or whatever, you can go in the night before and create a post for the next day, and it will run even though you're not on your phone or on the computer. So that's really helpful, in making sure that your posts get across, especially if you're a busy person. What are some other tips on that you would say, Joe? Oh, a lot of times when I was using that, I would just go in on like Sunday night and create my posts for the week. Mm-hmm. Like all my It Works posts are in there for the week. I know that I have 2 or 3 a day. It works. And then I just fill in with pictures of my kids throughout otherwise.
Yep.
So then I know I'm not missing, like say I get busy over lunch and I can't post. Well, I know that there's going to be a post on it. So that's a great point. Thanks for sharing, Jill. Anything else? Any questions on that? If you have a question, go ahead and unmute yourself. No? All right. I will carry on then. My next topic. Ooh, this is a big one, you guys. Do not decide for somebody if this business is for them or not. Okay? What I mean by that is, and I did this a lot, especially at the beginning, and I still have a tendency to do it, and it's really easy to do. But you look at somebody and you look at their Facebook, and it's a highlight reel, right? We all know that it's a highlight reel. They don't really share their junk, their closet stuff. But you look at it and you're like, oh, they're doing fine. They don't need extra money. Man, she's super skinny. She doesn't need the products. Don't decide that for somebody. There are people from every occupation you can imagine in our top leaders. We've got people who went to school to be lawyers, stay-at-home moms of 8, teachers, photography owners, restaurant owners, high school dropouts, salon owners, you name it. There's a wide variety of people. So don't decide for somebody whether this business is for them or not. Prime example of this, and I love this one, is my enroller, Mackenzie Schultz. She is a top 30 income earner and just in Cedar Rapids. She joined, she just wanted to be a loyal customer, you guys. So she just wanted to try the wraps for like $60. And the person who was enrolling her as a loyal customer just simply said, and she simply said, you know, it's only $40 more and you can become a distributor. She didn't have to say that at all because, you know, she probably looked at Mackenzie and thought, oh, she owns her own photography studio. They own their own restaurant. They probably don't need the money. Well, she didn't decide for her. So she just threw it out there as an option. Now, some people, it's not for them, and that's fine. And all you can do is ask, right? But in this case, she just asked, and Mackenzie actually could use a little bit of extra income. Her story is incredible if you haven't checked it out. But you guys, just because she asked, Mackenzie went double diamond within a month. Double diamond makes about $4,000 a month. And if she would have decided for Mackenzie and thought, oh, well, she's got her own businesses, she probably doesn't need extra income, then she wouldn't have had that amazing double diamond on her team. So never decide for somebody whether or not it's for them. We have this incredible tool, and you'll get it in your starter kits. You've already gotten your starter kits called the Blitz card.
Hey, Ashley.
Yeah.
Can you mute everyone again? I can barely hear you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. We keep getting unmuted. Okay. We have these incredible cards called the Blitz cards. And it's a great way to, you know, when you're checking out at the grocery store, or if you're buying something at the gas station, just hand the card to somebody. Or if you meet a mom at the park, hand them a card. And it's a great tool. Now, what you don't want to do is just assume that they don't need the opportunity. It's always best to share it because you never know. Never decide for somebody whether or not they need this. You're getting paid to share this opportunity. So these are a quick, easy tool. You just say, hey, I have a coupon for you. Have you heard of It Works before? A lot of times you hear yes, a lot of times you hear no. And then you just say, this is what it is, and this is what it does. And then they'll take it and look at it, okay? So it's that simple. Either they want it or they don't, but don't decide for it. Does that make sense? Jill, do you have anything to add to that?
No, just remember, try not to like word vomit. And like you said, keep it simple. This is what it is, and this is what it does. And then if they ask questions, answer what they ask.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's one of my tips later on too, and I'll just jump to it now. So one of my tips is to be quiet. All right. Don't fall victim to the diarrhea of the mouth. Present the opportunity, but don't go into every single detail right away. It will be way too overwhelming. Let them ask you questions and answer only those questions that they ask. And a good tip is always try to end your response with another question to keep the conversation going. So if you're talking to somebody, you know, on social media, you know, always end with a question, you know, and then they feel led to kind of continue the conversation versus like, okay, cut off the conversation, you know? So always like let them ask the questions, because at the end of the day, everybody needs to know different things. Everybody has different personalities. Some people want the details and some people just want like an overview. Case in point. Yeah. Somebody has something to
Sorry,
say.
I just want to add real quick.
Yeah.
The training videos on the site, the eSuite,
yeah,
have awesome things for the Blitz cards.
Oh, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yep.
tips on like how to use them and what to say and stuff.
Yeah, they've got like 3 experts up there, of course, that like go about how they go out and use them and what they do and what they say.
I love it. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Yeah. And it's just that simple. And I had I was doing a conversation with somebody. When I first started, people would ask me how the wrap works. And I would go into this like detailed description because I looked up like the scientific how it works, but really all they wanted to know was you take it out, you put it on, you wear it for 45 minutes, and you take before and afters. That's all they wanted to know. So a lot of times we tend to like overthink it and think we have to know every single little thing when really We just need to know the basics. And if they want the specifics and want like the nitty gritty details, then we can find that information out for them and they can ask that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the simpler you keep it, the more likely they are to, you know, when you bombard them with too much information, it gets overwhelming.
Yep.
And a confused person is always going to say no, whether it's the business or the customer info, products, all that stuff. So that's a great point. Keep it simple. All right. So anything else to add to that? Anybody? Hey, Tara. Okay. So my next point I wanted to say is what draws people in? Okay. What kind of captures their attention? Simple answer is friendships, freedom, and fun. If you post about one of those three things, that is going to capture their attention, especially when it comes to the opportunity. People always want to make new friends or closer friends. The people definitely want freedom, whether it's financial freedom or freedom of time, and everybody's looking to have a little bit of fun. So if you can keep your posts about friendships, freedom, or fun, I guarantee you people will definitely be interested in what you do. Ideas for what to post. What are you buying with your rack cash? Whenever you sell a rack for $25, what are you buying with it? That's a great post right there. Take a picture of 25 bucks in your hand right in front of the restaurant you're going out to eat. Take a picture of the $25 holding the box of diapers. You help them pay for diapers for the week. Those are great posts. And really, $25 goes a long way when people are looking to start an opportunity. You know what I mean? Take a picture every time you earn a $100 bonus. What is that $100 bonus doing for you? What is it doing for your family? What's it allowing you to do? That simple $100 bonus that you get when you sign up a new distributor. What are the products doing for you? What is this company doing for you? Talk about the positivity of your team. Do you love your team? Talk about it. Share about it. Your dreams, your goals. What are you going to do once you get that Ruby paycheck? Once you get the diamond bonus? Those are the things that people want to know. They want to know, why are you doing that? Right? So they are watching you. Whether or not they're responding to your messages or liking your pictures, I still have people that will come to me and say, I've been watching you for 4 years. What is this all about? You know, because finally they're at a point in life where they're ready to hear it. And it's different for everybody. You know, everybody has different life changes. Maybe they just had a kid. Maybe they have a wedding coming up. Maybe this, that, or the other thing. But, you know, always talk about it and what it's doing for you. And I guarantee you people are watching you. I've had a lot of new distributors express that, you know, they feel kind of discouraged because they aren't getting as many customers as they thought at first. Well, guess what? People are just watching. They're trying to see, are you taking this seriously? Like, is this just another one of those things, or is she actually going to do this? So continue to talk about it, continue to live it, and talk about how much fun you're having, what freedom you're going to get from it, and the friendships that you're making. Because look at all these people that you just met by starting. It's incredible. So those are definitely the 3 things that you want to post about. That's what draws people in. Messaging friends. Anything else about that? Friendships, freedom, fun, Jill?
I think you kind of hit it on the nose. Some of the people I rely on the most in this business are sideline sisters. They're not even on, you know, my team, but I talk to them on a daily basis, and I would have never known them without this business.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was, especially at the beginning, it's really helpful to, like, you know, reach out to somebody that just started like you, or that has been in this business for a while like you, and just, you know, be each other's cheerleaders, because it'll help you, you know, and you can like kind of share tips and ideas, what's working for you, what's you're not, and all that stuff. And then when you get together at the team events and the corporate events, it's so much fun to hang out with those people too, because you've created really good relationships and friendships. Okay, so next, messaging people. All right, so first and foremost, posting on Facebook is not asking. Okay, there's a big difference in between posting and turning on your on sign and actually going out and asking people if they'd be interested. Obviously, you know, getting started, some things you can do is create a list of 100 people. What I did when I first started, as I created a list, I did 30, 30, and 30. 30 people that I thought would be great at this, that I thought maybe could use a little extra money, or I thought would be really fun to work with or reconnect with. And then another list of 30 people that I thought might be interested in the products. Maybe if they had a tattoo, maybe I suggested the defining gel, or if they, I thought they might enjoy the greens, or if they had kids, maybe Confianza, or stressful job, maybe Confianza. So I made my list of 30 there. And then the last 30 was a list of 30 people to host parties for me. And when I first started, I didn't want to do any parties. I told Mackenzie, I don't know if I'm going to post on Facebook, and I really don't want to do very many parties. She probably thought I was crazy. But after I did my first party and I walked away with actual orders in my hands after I had been posting, it was like such an eye opener. Like, I actually had 15 to 20 minutes of these people's attention, and I was able to answer their questions, have them taste, feel, smell the product, and answer all their questions on the spot. Like, I gave them all the information. I had them for 15 to 20 minutes, and then we had a good time after, so they could see I'm a real person. So the parties, it wouldn't be uncommon for me to walk away from a party with 400 BV. And so I would ask people, hey, would you be interested in doing a party? I'd get you a free wrap. And a lot of people were interested in that. Yeah, sure. I'll take a wrap for free. I was like, great. All you need to do is invite at least 4 friends to show up and have water. Keep it simple. We can do it wherever. Your house, my house, a restaurant up the street, a coffee house. We'll just find a spot. Kept it simple. So I had my list of 30. So 30, 30, 30. And that's how I started. I'd go through my list of 30, and then I'd add more people to the list. I'd go through my Facebook contacts. Oh, I forgot about her. Add her. Where do I think she'd be good? Oh, I think she'd do a party for me. So I'd write her in the party section. So that's kind of how I got started. Yeah, go ahead.
And about the parties, how many people came to your very first launch party?
My very first launch party, I had one person show up. She was pregnant, and she still has not ordered any product from me because she has been either pregnant or nursing ever since.
And did that stop you?
Never did. In fact, right after my party, I posted on Facebook, took a selfie of myself with one of these and I was like, what a great party. Thank you for everybody that stopped out. It was such a blast. And literally within that night and the next day, I had 4 people contact me. I'm so sorry I couldn't make it. Can we schedule a time to meet up? Yes. So, fake it till you make it a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. And don't let it discourage you. If anything, it was an opportunity for me to sit down and hear that presentation so that I was more comfortable with, some of the products. I hadn't tried the greens before, so I got to try those out. And so it was a good opportunity to at least a little one-on-one training with the person that enrolled me. So definitely don't let that discourage you, because if I would have thought, only one person came and she didn't even order, then I wouldn't be where I am today, So never let it discourage you, for sure. Thanks for bringing that up, Jill. I'm thankful for that, actually. Okay. So back to messaging people. So you make your list of people. And remember, don't be afraid to ask. You are not bothering people. You're simply asking. Now, if you ask them and they say no, and then you ask them again, and you ask them again, and you ask them again, that's completely different, okay? But simply asking, either they'll say yes or they'll say no. It's for some people. It's not for everybody. Fair enough. Simply, if they say no, simply say, oh, no worries. By the way, your kids are so cute. Leave it like an open, honest relationship after the fact. Don't just end the conversation there like, okay, on to the next. You can leave it open so that it's not like, oh, she was only contacting me about the business. No, be genuine. Find something and kind of chat a little bit, kind of reconnect. Because like I said, a no for now is not no forever. Those circumstances are always changing. Vacations, you name it. And it's a numbers game. The more people you ask, the more people that are going to respond. And the more no's you get, the closer you are to that yes. And let me tell you, that yes feels so good. right? So it's a numbers game. The more people you contact, the more yeses you're going to get in the end. And don't be afraid to contact those chicken list people. We all have those people where it's like you wrote their name down on your list to contact and you're like, ooh, I'll skip her, right? Because you're nervous, right? I have them. Just contact them, because I can't tell you how many times like I've had somebody in my chicken list that I skipped over, and guess what? They signed up with somebody else because I was too afraid to just ask. And that sucks when that happened. So don't be afraid to ask. Like I said, you're not bothering people. You're simply asking, right? And if they say no, no biggie. It's for some people and it's not for others. Let's see. When you're asking them a question, don't beat around the bush. Don't start the conversation like, hey, how's it going? By the way, when you're sending a message, just, simple, straight to the point. Here's my example text, and I'll put it on our Facebook group. Hey, with a name. Hey, Jessica. So I just started a new business adventure with It Works, and so far I love it. This might be totally random, but I couldn't help but think of how much fun it would be to work this business together and how great you would be at it. Have you ever thought about making a little extra money on the side? Simple. Just like I would, like in a conversation. I didn't get into, it's this much money and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, would you ever be interested in making money? Yes or no, right? So keeping it simple is always good. Let's see. This business is all about relationships. Keep those relationships open. The best business plan is to help your friends and make new friends, and then repeat. So always like when I'm out and about, if, for example, if I'm at the park, like my season of life, I've got kids, right? So if I'm at the park talking with somebody, I'm always sure to like say, hey, do you have Facebook? If I just met them, hey, do you have Facebook? And then I hand them my phone. We should be friends, like. And then can you find yourself on there and send yourself or whatever. So I give them my phone so they can find themselves in my Facebook, and I can add them as a friend. So that I'm always like continuously getting new people to talk to. And maybe at that play date, I didn't talk to them about It Works, but now that I have them on my friends list, they can definitely see what I'm doing. And if ever in the future they're interested, then they can reach out. And it makes it super simple when I do that. Here's a good one. Along the lines of messaging people, there will be times when you're talking to someone and they seem totally interested, and then they like stop talking to you, stop responding to your text, and all you see is your blue bubble after blue bubble after blue bubble. Best response I've ever had for that is, if they seemed interested and then they stop talking, we call them a cricket, because they've gone silent on you. So in that case, after I send them a couple messages, I'll just send them something along the lines of like, hey, I hope I didn't say anything to offend you. And then 9 times out of the 10, it's just like, it starts the conversation back up. They're like, no, I've just been super busy. Yeah, I'm still interested. Da, 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 da. So that's a great way to like open up the conversation. Let's see. Yeah, that's that. Sorry, I'm just reading my notes. There's so many. And sometimes you just need to get out from behind the computer and get in front of people. Always take your Blitz cards. That training, like Heather said, is great. So get on to your training on eSuite, and they have great examples of like how to blitz people and get contacts.
And they just updated all of that, so it's new for everyone.
All those trainings are brand new. So if you haven't checked them out in a while, definitely do check them out. Anything you want to add to messaging? No?
If you don't ask, the answer is always going to be no. That's it.
Most common excuses. Here's one. Not enough money. Here's some ideas if they're really interested, but they're nervous about the money to get started as a distributor. One idea that has worked is pre-sell your 4 wraps for $25 each to get the $100 to start. And then when your kit comes in, hand out the wraps. That's a great option. I know people that have had garage sales to come up with the extra money, put something up on Craigslist that you've used tax returns, ask for it for a birthday or Christmas, borrow the money from a friend. Here's one I don't really suggest, but people have done it. Put it on a credit card. But I mean, I never suggest that, but people have done it. So those are some ideas there. Another excuse that you'll get and fear that you'll have for people not sure about starting is that they're not sure if they have enough time. So there's no time. We're just assuring them that there's no time commitment that's required for this business. You can do this business on your phone. Well, so that means like while the kids are at piano practice, dance, swimming, you can be working your business right from your phone. And think of all the time that we waste through the day scrolling through Facebook, watching TV. There's always a way. Get up 30 minutes early, go to bed 30 minutes later. Yeah, so those are some options there. And then another excuse that I hear is I'm not a salesperson, in which case I say, thank the Lord, because I hate salespeople. Like, you don't have to be a salesperson to do this business. You just are a shares person. That sounds really lame, but that's what you are. You're just asking people and telling people about what you have to offer, and either they want it or they don't. You don't have to spend your time convincing people. I definitely don't. If they want it, I give them the information and I show them where they can find it. And I'm always kind of like highlighting new products on my Facebook page or whatever it is, but I'm never like trying to sell them on it, you know? So don't look at it as sales. So that's whenever anybody says they're not a salesperson, I say, thank goodness. I hate salespeople. Anything that you've heard, Jill, that you want to add to that? Or common responses? Those are
kind of like that Zoom or was it a Zoom or whatever it was with Pam Souter like a year ago, is keep asking, like if they say they don't have the money, say, well, if we could find you the money, would you? And then if they have then their next excuse is, I don't have the time. Well, if we could find you 30 minutes a day, would you? And then if you keep asking, you know, if we could find this, if we could find that, you're going to get to the root of why they aren't signing up. It could be, I'm scared of failure or whatever it is. So just keep asking if they keep giving excuses, I guess.
And those are all some great like things to, you know, present them with if they, and I'll have this up on the team page for you to look at as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so after you've talked to somebody and you know, have heard a little bit from them, but then they kind of go quiet, maybe you re-engage the conversation. Basically, the key is to follow up. If you let that quiet person go quiet, they will be quiet forever. And if you don't follow up, you will never move forward. So, for example, like if I've talked to somebody today, for example, who she was like, I don't have the money now, but I will, but I think I'd be ready to do it next month. And I'm like, okay, that's great. So my thing that I need to do is put it in my calendar to follow up with her, right? Or say that the conversation went dead. Then I need to follow up and start the conversation back up and see if she is interested. So a good day to follow up with people, especially customers, is on Thursdays and Fridays, because that's when they're getting paid. That's when they have a little bit of extra money to spend, when it hasn't been eaten up by bills and stuff yet. And I'm still following up with people that I started talking to a few years ago. Every few months, you know, not like every month or every other month, but like maybe once every 6 months. If I was talking to them a while ago, I'll send a follow-up like, hey, I'm still thinking about you. I think you'd be great in this. Has it crossed your mind since we last talked? And, you know, sometimes they'll respond and sometimes they won't, but then maybe I'll follow up with them until they say no. Then I'm not gonna, you know, stop following up with them. I'm not gonna bug them every day. That's different. But I'm gonna make sure that I'm following up, because at one point they were interested. And so It's just finding the right time, because I believe timing is everything. So it's got to be the right time for them. And so making sure that you're following up. There's, again, been situations where I've talked to people and then I hadn't talked to them for a while, and guess what? Then all of a sudden I see they're selling it. And I'm like, oh, I should have followed up with them. Like, I forgot about them, you know, and people don't want to be forgotten about. Like I said, everything's every time. A good rule of thumb is the rule of 2. When you're first starting a conversation with somebody, follow up after 2 days after you talk to them. Then if they don't respond, follow up after 2 weeks. Then if they don't respond, follow up after 2 months, you know. And then every once in a while, here and there, maybe there's a promotion that came out, like a $10 business builder kit promotion, and you want to let them know about it, and you follow up with them. So that's a great rule of 2. And then, of course, make your hundreds list. It'll keep you organized too. What I did when I first started is I wrote it on a piece of paper the date I contacted them, what they said, or if they said anything. And then I can go through my list and say, okay, well, I haven't talked to her in a while. I'll send her a message. It just kind of keeps me organized. It keeps me from forgetting about somebody and having them fall through the cracks. So definitely make a hundreds list.
I have a question.
Yes.
Hi. Hey, do you recommend posting or sending a text to people versus phoning or talking to them in person regarding the business? Is that?
I think either is fine. I think as long as you're opening your mouth, you know what I mean? If you are the type of person that's more comfortable having a conversation and getting belly to belly with somebody, then do that. You know, obviously it's a little bit easier to have a conversation through like messaging if they're far away, which in my case, like because I've moved a lot, and so it's hard for me to like get to everybody, and I know people from all over. So for me, messaging was always just a little bit easier.
Okay.
And maybe it's a combination of the two, you know, like people you're really close with, get a one-on-one meeting with them and do face-to-face versus a message, and then the people you haven't seen in a while, maybe a message. Or
I didn't know if you saw a pattern, you
right.
know,
I think,
with your results, result-wise.
And people run this business every which way. Some people are only on social media and only do messaging. Some people like the one-on-one, right? Like, let's meet up for coffee. And some people like a big party. There's no right or wrong. There's people on the top that have done everything or a combination of everything. So whatever you're most comfortable with, whatever you feel works the best for you, I'd say would be the best thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Good question. Anything you want to add to that, Joe?
No.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I mean, there's certain people I reach out to on Facebook Messenger, and then there's certain people I reach out to through text messaging. It just depends on what type of relationship I have with them, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Makes sense. Cool. Does anybody have any questions so far? Feel free to.
I have another one.
Yes, go for it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You were talking about your 30, 30, and 30.
Yeah.
I missed the middle one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I do I do a list of 30 people that I think would be great at this business or might want to make some extra money with me. I do a list of 30 people that would like for loyal customers that I think might be interested in products. And I'll message them about like either a certain product, or I'll give them like a simple list of the types of things that we have to offer. 9 times out of 10, they want weight loss. So I'll give them information on weight loss. And then my last one is people I think would be interested in doing a party for me. So I make a list of 30 people, then I go through each one of those, cross their name off, and then create a new list. And then maybe after I've gone through that list, then I follow up with my first list. Who was I talking to that I never got a yes or no from, you know, and kind of figuring that out. So.
Okay, good.
Any other questions on messaging or following up?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So about the 30 people that you talk about, how do you do the party? Like
the parties? So There's a few ways to do them. So if you are in the area of somebody, like especially for like a launch party or whatever, you can go and actually go to their home. I like to sample out some product if I have some product to sample out. But basically all you need for a party is wraps. If you've got wraps that you can sell for $25 each and put them on people, then you've got a party. And when you get your starter kit, you will get one of these in there. These are the new product guides. And it literally, like, you can open it up and people could just look at it and get all the information that they need. Talks about the company and the history of the company. Talks about our flagship product, the wrap, and what it does. It even has a before and after picture. So it highlights some of our most popular products, the greens, the weight loss stuff like the ThermoFit and the Cleanse. And then it goes into the opportunity stuff. So literally, like, all you have to do is pull this out and you can almost read it verbatim. But there are, if you go on YouTube and look up Cami Dempsey, she does, if you look up party pad presentation, that's what they call it. She goes through this and you can kind of listen to her and like how she talks when she's going through this and kind of get some tips and ideas. And that's exactly what I did when I started. So before my first party, I just went on YouTube and I, just looked up a bunch of different people doing parties, like in-home parties for It Works. And I just kind of took a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and I just watched them over and over again, like while I was folding the laundry or doing dishes or whatever, just so I got more familiar with kind of the flow of a party. But if you haven't already scheduled a launch party with your upline, which Joyce, I know we're doing ours on Wednesday, but if you haven't already, for everybody else that's on here, make sure you find a date to do a launch party, because just sitting down and listening to a launch party is going to be so beneficial. Does that help, Joyce? Answer your question?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
And I'll tag you in one of Candy's videos.
Okay.
Awesome. Any other questions? Feel free to unmute yourself and ask. Okay, just a couple more things that I wanted to go over, and then we can be on our way. Okay. Sometimes it's just good to get out from behind the computer. I like to talk about like doing parties. Like I said, I didn't want to do them at first, but it's a great way to capture people's attention. Go blitzing with your Blitz card. When you're out and about, just talk about it. If you don't already have a shirt, like when I go out, I'm always wearing It Works. And like, if you get a shirt, the first shirt I would get is something that just says It Works across the chest, something that says It Works. And I guarantee you people will stop and say, what works? And that is a great opener to like start a conversation. And wear that shirt every single day. Unless you're going to work. Maybe then don't wear it every single day. But I wore, like, my first shirt, I wore like 3 times a week. It was washed like crazy. It was starting to fade. I had to buy a new one. But the great thing about when you get your first 4 loyal customers now, you're going to get a $100 shopping spree. You can use that on product or apparel. When I started, we couldn't use it on apparel. It was product only. So that is huge. You're going to be able to, maybe try a product that you want to try and maybe get a shirt and maybe get some business tools or something like that. So that'll be great. So when you're out and about, wear your gear, go out blitzing, meet new people, because that's going to be the lifeline for your business, is meeting new people, getting new contacts, inviting them to your Facebook or having conversations with them, meeting up with them belly to belly, whatever it is. The more people that you meet, the better you're going to be in this business. And let me see. 2 things I always have on me at all times in my purse are wraps and Blitz cards. Because when I'm out blitzing, the last thing I want to have happen is have somebody that's ready to wrap and like say, oh, do you have any? Or like, where can I get those? Like, I want to try it. And I could say, oh, I've got them right here. It's $25. Let's go wrap you in the bathroom. Like, I've done that before. So always have wraps on you. Always have your Blitz cards on you, because you never know when the opportunity is going to come. And maybe that person you wrap is going to be your rock star. Maybe you wrap them, they love their results, and they're going to be the person on your team that goes double diamond in a month, So always have that on you. Another thing to do that is a good attention grabber too, is if you get one of those Blitz cards, you can laminate it and put it on like a keychain and put it on your purse or whatever. And so when you're walking around carrying your purse, your Blitz card's hanging off your purse, and people will see it and kind of ask questions, right? So that's a great idea that I do as well. Yeah, just get out and meet new people. Last thing, closing the deal. When I have somebody that's interested in either the opportunity or the products, I will always try to get their information as opposed to sending them to my website, because a lot of times people get busy or it's confusing or whatever. Unless they specifically want to go to my website, then I don't even send them my link to my website usually. I'll just help them figure out which products they want to order based on their goals. And then I'll get the information from them, and then I'll set them right up right after we talk on the phone. Because then I know it's getting done, right? And I know when it's getting done. So I always do that. And obviously if it's somebody that I don't know very well, I always offer to, like, if you don't feel comfortable giving this to me over Messenger, then you can call me. 9 times out of 10, they'll either call me or they'll give it to me over Messenger. And then obviously I get rid of the information after I've entered it into the system, because that's just good business. So that's kind of how I go about it, just so I can make sure that the orders get in. Now, if you do have a loyal customer that wants to order for themselves and like go to your website, like say they're not comfortable giving you their credit card information, fair enough. Definitely help them try to pinpoint the products that they want to order before you give them your website. The last thing you want to do is send them in blind and then have them totally overwhelmed with the variety of products that we have. Give them a couple options, tell them what it does, really simple description. So if somebody's interested in weight loss, maybe I'll suggest the cleanse. Pretty much what I do in weight loss is I suggest the cleanse, the greens, the wraps, and the ThermoFit, everything that's in the system. And so I'll say, you do the wraps to tighten and tone skin, cleanse to, cleanse the digestive tract, greens to reboot and curb appetite, give you energy, and ThermoFit to burn extra calories, or you can get them all in a pack. And then we identify so you could do one or a combination of those, or get them all in a pack. And then 9 times out of 10, they'll go usually with the system. And I can say, okay, great. Here's my website. Go to packs and click on system. Or if they want greens, here's my website. Go to the greens link and then add it to your cart, and then you can check out. That way it's not overwhelming for them and they're not stuck there like reading stuff. It's really important to help them figure out what they want and what they need. At the end of the day, this is your business. I can't tell you how to run it. Like, you have to figure out what works best for you. Me doing this training is just to like give you some ideas, tell you what's kind of worked for me. But I just want you all to know that I 150 million% believe that each and every one of you are capable of doing this business. If I didn't believe it, then I wouldn't be in this business myself. And you need to know that when you start to doubt yourself, you always have somebody that's here to back you and who believes in you and is here to help you. Okay, so never, ever, ever forget that, because I believe in each and every one of you. Okay, so that's kind of all the information that I have for you guys. Any questions? Close it out. Any questions? Feel free to unmute. I know it can be super overwhelming at the beginning, but just take one video at a time, one training at a time. Before you know it, you'll be spouting off all the info. Like, it's no problem. Anything from anybody?
Okay, so I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so I had 2 people book a party today.
Awesome.
And one of the girls invited one of her friends.
Uh-huh.
And her friend actually sold it sells it. And she posted her link in the party group.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Delete that.
So I deleted it and uninvited her and just didn't say anything about it.
Yep.
Aw.
Yeah.
You make a big spiel over it or stick about it. But yeah, definitely not cool. Is she?
Yeah, I was like,
newer? Like, did she not realize? Here's the thing, like, it's just kind of like bad practice, right? And I want you all to know this too. Like, for example, if I'm talking to somebody and their sister sells It Works, I'm going to try to talk them into doing it, but doing it with their sister. You know, that's the whole point of One Team, One Mission. You know, like, we don't steal people. And I think a lot of times, like, when you first start, you probably don't know that. So maybe she's newer to the business and didn't know that. But yeah, not cool. That sucks. Yeah, just delete her, uninvite her, and
Yeah.
because the girl hosting the party too even messaged me and was like, I'm so sorry about that. And I was like, no, it's okay.
Right.
I didn't do anything.
It's all. I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Congrats on the 2 parties, though. That's incredible.
I am so happy. I had one person buy something today, the hair, skin, and nails, and I had 2 people book a party. And before that, I had so happy.
So
Are you new?
Yeah, I've been in for a week.
Very cool.
You lucky devil.
Yeah, I just met her. She's her boyfriend works with my son
Oh, fun.
at Jimmy John's. So that's amazing, Morgan. Let me know when the parties are and I'll come over.
Here's my basement.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Jimmy John's in the basement.
I want your menu board.
I know, is that incredible? Look at that. It didn't fit in
I
our
have a ski card.
Okay. So what did you do to get the loyal customers and or the parties? Was there something that you posted that was working for that, or did you message people, or how did those come about? Oh, she there? I lost you.
I think she's
muted.
I'm back. Sorry.
There she goes.
For the loyal customers.
Yeah.
So it's something I'm still working on, but I actually just posted that if anyone in the next 2 days, oh, can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If anyone in the next 2 days signs up as a loyal customer, they'll get a free wrap. Just trying to encourage people to do it.
Okay. So just so you know, that's actually against compliance only because we can't offer free product to sign up. However, one thing that you could do instead of that is anybody that signs up over the next 2 days will be entered into a drawing for a free wrap.
Okay.
So I would do that instead, only because you definitely want to be compliant, protect the golden goose. But then they're still, getting entered into that incentive drawing. So that's definitely an option as well.
Okay.
What about
I'll fix that then.
offering a free wrap for the hostess? How'd you get your
Wait, for the parties?
Yeah.
I said a free product. Just
Yeah. And that's totally fine, offering an incentive for the hostess, because you're not offering an incentive to buy anything from you. It's an incentive to host something for you. So like main thing, no purchase necessary. No purchase necessary. But they can be entered into a raffle or something. Very cool.
worked it done. You just used the word compliance. That made me smile.
I'm with you. Anything else? Anybody have any questions or anything you want to add, Jill?
No. I can't think of anything.
I had one more question.
Yes.
What product is good for athletes?
For what?
Sport? Like people that play sports?
Oh,
Sport.
okay. So I guess it just depends on their goals. So a couple of products that I would definitely suggest that my husband really likes would be New You. And what that does is it increases your body's natural production of HGH. Simply put, it helps you build lean muscle mass. And a side effect is it helps you sleep a lot better as well. So my husband loves that. Another product I would suggest would be Relief. If you have like aching joints, then that's a great one. I know a lot of golfers that use that. My husband uses it for his shoulder and his back, and it just kind of relieves the pressure, off of those joints rubbing and whatnot. It helps lubricate. Obviously, like our protein powders or our shakes are always a good one to recommend. And if somebody's looking for more energy, then the greens are also good to suggest as well. The greens in general, I mean, you can suggest those to anybody because they are just in general so good for you.
Mm-hmm.
With the fruits and veggies, it gives you energy. It helps balance your pH levels. So if you're looking to lose weight, that's really important as well. So greens in general are always a great product or a great add-on.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? All right, ladies. Well, that's all I've got for you guys. If you need anything, I'll be up for a little while. And again, I'm always here if you need ideas, tips, tricks, anything. But yeah, I will put this up on the team page. I'll tag it on there, all my notes. And otherwise, let's rock it. Let's finish this month. Let's do it good. Woo! Get those 4 customers, get those shopping sprees, and all that good stuff. So, all right, guys, have a good night.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.